We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Are we on? Are we live?
You know what time it is.
And see that smoky on the backside.
What? Segway? Yeah. Automatically cut me off.
It's time for Two Guys and a Beer.
That won't be happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit back, relax, as these guys
Hashtag us. Well, yeah, I mean,
talk everything from sports to sex and anything in between.
Come here, let me hug you. You know, take the win.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
You're lying.
Yeah, my crap don't stink.
Can't get a word in edgewise.
I would be like, you know what? I'm coming to this doctor all the time.
Bam, you could leave the show. Can't get a word in edgewise.
And now, here's your host.
All right, welcome to another episode of Two Guys and a Beer. And I have long ago since quit keeping count. I think we're somewhere around 20, 25 shows. I don't know. But anyway, I'm your host, Scott Cochran, along with my wonderful award-winning co-host.
Do I go by the name McNasty?
Well, I don't know, but that's what we've been calling you for the last 6 or 8 episodes. So anyway, welcome to the show. And as we like to say at the beginning of every episode, what do we say?
School is in. And we do it live.
We do it live. Actually, we record it live.
Same thing.
We could actually do this live. You do realize that our account with Spreaker and iHeartRadio allows us to broadcast a live radio show 200, and we could do 300 hours in a row before they cut us off.
Well, it's not like we edit or change anything.
That's pretty much true, but just in case on the off chance that one of us makes a comment that would get one of us fired, one of us always tries to record it so that wouldn't happen because one of us doesn't want the other one moving back in his house.
Wait.
So moving on.
I made a comment that might get us fired?
No, I said on the off chance that might happen.
True.
All right. We have some big news, and I don't know if I shared this with you, McNasty, but it's
pregnant?
Really big news that we have an app, iPhone app in the App Store now. You can download Two Guys and a Beer app. And you will be able to listen to the shows, interact with us live. But since we're not live, that feature won't really work. But you can. All the shows will be right there in one place.
On an app.
That's right. And all you got to do when you're talking to somebody in the bar and you're going, "Hey man, I heard this great show on iHeartRadio, Spreaker. It's called Two Guys and a Beer." And they go, "What?" You go, "Look, just download Two Guys and a Beer." That's all you got to search for. Yeah. Two Guys and a Beer. And if you have an iPad, you'll have to download the iPhone app. We don't have an iPad app. And don't bitch at us because we're not that technical. And we don't have it yet. We don't have it in the Android marketplace.
Well, who has those phones? Losers.
And pretty much we don't have it because it's an extra $100. So we're trying to see how many people will actually download the iPhone app before we go out and spend more beer money.
Well, there's 3 billion iPhone users or something like that. So
surely we should get like a 10th of a percent.
If we can get 1%.
Just a 10th of a percent.
Yeah. I mean, I've probably made 10,000 inappropriate phone calls in my life. How does that go?
How many sexting have you done?
No, what the Will Ferrell always says.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Out of the 100,000 phone calls I've made, I've probably only made 1% of those be inappropriate phone calls.
Yeah. So that's what? What is that? What 100,000?
And why are we even talking about my inappropriate phone call when they're the ones who have an answering machine?
That's right. They should not answer.
Who has answering machines these days?
Who has answering machines?
Anyhow. To get off topic, number 1.
So download the app and be sure to go to Facebook, Two Guys and a Beer.
And Twitter.
Beer_guys. And tell us you love the show. We picked up a few followers on Facebook. You know, I think we're up to 6 now.
No doubt.
No doubt.
I don't do it for the followers. I do it for the hoes.
Hey, but speaking of the app, that's the cool thing about that. I'm gonna go look. I want to show you.
Hey, you tell a lady when you're drinking at the bar that you have a radio show.
Does
She just, I mean, that's a panty dropper.
It is. And see,
Look at that app.
There's the app. How cool is that?
What?
And then on the app, it shows how much each episode has been listened to. Like this episode here we did on January 19th, Daddy Brings Home the Bacon has been listened to 1,400 times.
Now, my mom probably did 900 of those.
Nah, probably not, because that was a pretty bad one. Last week's Pops in the House, or last time we did one, he's only got 300 listens. So,
Ooh, Pops.
Sorry.
Pops.
So Santa Porn got 1.2 thousand. Yep, the Carter. You know, I would have thought Carter the Man Whore would have had the most, but it's not. It's 100 behind the other one.
You know, but that one we got into some dribble talking about politics and blah blah, boring crap.
Well, anyway, download
hey,
the app.
speaking of Carter, and you remember how we were talking about how he went in for a prostate exam or whatever, and that's how we got onto the two hands.
Come again?
Yeah. So I'm riding with my buddy Chris Jones a little earlier today,
who was supposed to be our special guest here in the show,
but
he stood us up.
But he's a little bitch.
You know, we put the show off for 30 minutes waiting.
30 whole minutes. But anyhow, so I'm riding down the road with him. We're going to get something to eat, and he says,
"Man, I thought you'd already came back."
No. This is while I got 2 stories about Chris today. So we're riding down the road. We're going to get something to eat, and he says, "Jason, as a friend, I need to tell you something." I said, "Really? All right, man. What's up?" He said, "Well, you know, you're not supposed to get a prostate exam until you hit 40." I said, "Oh."
I don't like where this is going.
Didn't know that.
I don't like where this is going. Actually,
okay.
You're not supposed to do it till you're 50. You don't need to do it till you're 50.
Anyhow, so
Carter did it when he was 22 because he likes it.
All right, so listen. So I go, okay, bud, yeah, okay. You know, he said, well, you know, the other day I went in to get a physical, whatnot, and I can't remember why he said he had to get a prostate exam, but he said the doctor stuck his finger up there and wiggled it around, you know. And he said it was the most uncomfortable situation he'd ever been in. And I looked at him and I said, did he happen to stick 2 hands up on your shoulders?
No, he didn't.
No. But anyhow, he said, and then when I got done, I looked at him and I said, man, that was, guy says, want a cigarette? So the doctor looked at him, said, you want a cigarette?
I don't believe that. That's pretty cool. That was a cool story.
So we're a little bit closer. No, that's what Chris said. No, I don't know if it's
okay.
true, but
all right, yeah, I don't. That's what Chris said. I don't know
Chris
if
said
it's
the
true.
doctor looked at him and said, "No." He looked at the doctor and said, "Man, that was." The doctor said, "Yeah, we're a little bit closer now. You want a cigarette?"
Yeah. You know, I don't understand you young guys all getting prostate exams. I think there's a little something going on there.
I haven't got one.
I'm just saying, you know, you go into the doctor and it's like,
hey, doc, what's up?
Well, do I need let me get that prostate exam.
Let me get the prostate exam today. Hey, I can get the prostate exam. I can get it.
Oh, you know, what do you, and you go in.
I saw that 50-year-old man walk out of here smiling. I can get that prostate exam too.
Can I get what he got? Oh my gosh, you guys are just killing me, man.
So shout out to the doctor who violated Chris.
With a big finger.
With a big finger.
The big index finger.
I tell you what, I'm searching fingers before I go to the doctor. I'm going to just test doctors out.
Me one. I want a nice little petite Japanese
woman
who has the hands of a
couldn't hold a Big Mac.
Right? No way. Couldn't wrap around an orange if she had
nope.
to.
Nope.
Yeah. So. All right, well, let's get serious a second because my man George Strait is calling it quits tonight. Tonight's his last show. King George.
Man,
the
last I got wasted last
King
time.
George. The only time you went to see King George.
Wasted.
At he's final show. He's going to have Miranda Lambert and Jason Aldean, Eric Church out in Texas at the.
Well, it's going to be a blowout there.
And you know, here's a little trivia. 1975, Ace in the Hole band.
We've got to have an ace
in
the hole.
Here's the other thing that you may not know, but our little local town here, Swainsboro, Georgia, Manuel County, Midville.
Stop saying all the places where we live. We got listeners. They get freaky stalky.
No, stalky, whatever.
If I die because
George
of a listener,
Strait has come. He came to Midville, Georgia, to McKinney's Pond.
huh.
Yes, he did. Played McKinney's. Nobody knew who he was. He didn't have 20 people there, but he played it. And I know those 20 people
did Mutt own it then?
Mutt on it. Mutt was there.
I bet Mutt is sitting back right now smoking him a cigar.
You know. So we're going to give George a little shout out.
They're just better songs.
Now, this is the song you should play. One of his last tour. I karaoke this song too.
Sing it, George. Notice I said George and not Scott.
Old Troubadour, George Strait. So shout out to the man George himself. He's an excellent entertainer, and he's actually going to do a few more albums after.
His show was fun, but he's in the rounds. He does it. He in the stadium. He goes to one mic after one mic after one mic. Does just a circle. But the story about George, right? Everybody knows it, but a lot of people don't. The first record producer he ever went into tried to get signed from the label. Guy told him he was too country and he needed to lose the cowboy hat.
Lose the cowboy hat and the twang. Yep. That happens. Happens to a lot. Elvis. First guy I heard Elvis told him he needed to go back to driving a truck. So.
I know, right? Those guys that had did that,
yeah. Oh, George Strait's shows since 1990, I believe it is. Yeah, 1990 have grossed more than $405 million.
Well, I mean, he's loved by everybody. I mean, the dude's got 70 number one hits, something stupid. I mean, you just don't have 70 number one hits. Not in today's age, Somebody does a number one hit and then they just go off into. You don't really hear them much anymore.
They don't. Well, here's the thing. They don't have the work ethic that George had. Now, George was out there busting his hump year in and year out. And that's the way you connect with the fans is you're playing these little dive bars and you're going to these places. You're playing towns like Augusta. You're playing Savannah, small venues. You're playing these Rome and Macon. And
I wonder what era in music, when I say era, I mean decade, 90s, 80s, 2000s had the most one-hit wonders. I'm going to say 80s.
Oh, I'm sure. 80s, no doubt. Because the MTV. It was the MTV era. And,
1981? 1982?
Oh, MTV? I don't know. But MTV was 1981, I believe. 81? I need to look that up. When did MTV start?
The other night, just to throw this out there, I just, sometimes like to ring my own bell.
1981. I was right.
The other day I went to Wild Wings Cafe in Statesboro. And we got a Wild Wings now. But I went to Wild Wings Cafe. Just happened to be playing trivia there. Won $150 in Wild Wings cash.
Awesome. So I can come and get you can buy me something to eat.
Hey, y'all come on down now.
Rocking and rolling.
Wild Wings is good. They got a good old chicken wrap. I love the chicken wraps.
Hey, this has nothing to do with chickens and Wild Wings, but
chicken.
California Chrome failed in its bid to become the first Triple Crown winner, and we talked about this.
We talked about it last time.
Yeah. And if you,
but you happen
to be watching afterwards,
you remember what I said? I said that it wouldn't go on for very long. The talk wouldn't go on for very long after he lost or after he won. It's not going to change the sport. But little did I know.
Little did you know
that his owner
would have something
to say. Let's take a listen.
Our horse had a target on his back. Everybody else lays out one, or they won't run in the Kentucky Derby or the Preakness. They'll wait until the Belmont. You know what? If you've got a horse, run him in all three. If you've got a horse if you've got a horse.
So here's what happened. Now we're gonna set the stage now. Let you listen to it again. Here's what happened. He's there talking to the reporter from ESPN, I guess.
No, NBC.
Come on. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, he's talking to the reporter. His wife is standing behind him. All right, because we all know that the rich guys don't let their wives sit with them. They make them sit behind them.
Well, no, he was sitting with his wife during the race.
Well,
but during the interview, he stepped down to greet that guy. But go ahead. Sorry.
Anyway, so he's talking to the guy. The wife's behind him, and he's 61 years old. His wife is in her 60s. So
she should have known better.
She should have. So what happened was he gets to ranting, and now we just recorded the last part of the rant. He'd already been doing this for a couple of minutes beforehand. He'd already been late, and his argument was that.
Go ahead, continue the story though. What are you continuing?
What I'm saying,
story?
So his wife starts pinching him when she realizes he's
on a rant.
He's on a rant.
He's about to say something he don't want to say.
He's saying something he don't want to say.
He's about to Donald Sterling himself.
He's about to Donald Sterling. That's right. So
that's what she thinks.
She thinks so, but he can't say anything about the horse's colors. So
that brown horse that beat him, that black horse that beat him.
So anyway, what you hear him say is "Stop, Charlotte." So let's listen to it again.
Lays out one, or they won't run in the Kentucky Derby or the Preakness. They'll wait until the Belmont. You know what? If you've got a horse, run him in all three. If you've got a horse if you've got a horse that points to run in the Kentucky Derby,
Carolyn, I gotta say something.
Kentucky are the only 20 eligible to run in all three races. This is the coward's way out.
See,
hey,
and you know
that would have happened to me too, because I would have gotten to ranting like that. And I would have tried to put the words available and eligible.
Available.
But you know what? What's funny to me is I knew, but the way that conversation or the way he's building it up, he is about to crush people. His wife pinches him. And he turns around and looks at him.
He says,
Carolyn.
Charlotte, I think.
Charlotte, yeah, whatever.
You know, like, he does the elbow back. Like, you know.
Don't touch me right now. You know, it's almost like a man is about to get in a fight, and his girlfriend tries to grab him, or wife.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's almost like he's ready to go fight, and she,
get off me.
I'm going to fight. You know?
I got this. Yeah, and you know what was funny? We didn't record the last part in it. She does it again. She did it again at the end of the interview, and he had to turn around and say, "Stop it." You know? Because she keeps going, you know, she's trying to tell him to stop. Because his argument is,
it's not a bad argument.
It's a valid argument. That these guys are not running the Preakness.
And you know,
they're not running the Kentucky Derby because they know what they're going to do is sit out and win one race. Because here's the thing. All they've got to do is win one race, and the value of that horse shoots up. They don't give a damn about the Triple Crown. For the most part, they don't give a damn about tradition. All they want is the money. So I
ask yourself this: how during the 70s do you have 3 Triple Crown winners and you go for 30 years without another one?
You want to know how?
I mean, you know, I don't. That's a rhetorical question. I said, ask yourself. Don't answer the question.
But I want to tell you how.
No, you're always going to tell me how. The best part about that is they interviewed the man right after he lost.
Right after he was pissed.
And that is when, like, after you lose or after you don't win or get that promotion, whatever it is, you just. Oh, and you could feel it. You could feel it
his
in
visceral anger.
Oh my goodness, and it was awesome. You know what?
It was real. That's what I like.
Yeah,
it was real. It was unscripted.
Passionate.
It was passionate. There was no PR guy going there giving you a bunch of fluff about.
Yeah,
this
was
a good race, and he put out, and then we just didn't. The horse must have been feeling bad, but the other one, blah blah blah. You know, like you didn't hear none of this shit.
Yeah,
but
nobody
you heard exactly what he said.
What was it? He said? The guy looked at him and said, "What do you feel, and how do you feel about this race?" And he let it go, and you gotta love that.
I love that.
As a sports fan, just as a human, because, you know, most of the time you hear these sports people and they get up there and they've been coached and they give you this coached answer and it just sounds right.
Old school.
Oh, he's old. He just brought it. And he said, you know what? You don't run into Kentucky Derby because you can't make it.
You don't run
and
into
then
Preakness.
all of a sudden you don't run into Preakness
because you know I'm gonna spank your ass.
Well, I don't even know what, but you know what? You don't run into Preakness, and now I've got my hopes up. Basically, he just said, I got my hopes up to win this race, and now you got a horse coming here.
You got a brand new fresh horse.
Who hadn't ran. And California Chrome, let's give him credit. I mean, he finished 4th, and he
did he?
I mean, it wasn't a bad run.
Oh, he didn't get blew out.
I feel like he should have, like in the last one, I think the guy got blown out, but
he should have held him back a little bit.
I feel like he should have went further. I think he should have, like, as a jockey, I feel like he should have knew that California didn't have it all. And he just didn't have the burst at the end. Like, if you look at the horse that won it, whatever the horse's name was.
Tonality.
Yeah, tonality or whatever. That horse was in third place at 300 yards and just put its head down and
blew out.
Blew
because
out.
he hadn't ran anywhere.
Right, but the jockeys should know that. Like, how did they not know that those horses hadn't run? Set the tone for the race. Get out in front. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm sorry, I had to turn mine down. You were too loud in my ear.
You are.
But I turned your mic
on a
down.
rant
Your
here.
your
I'm
mic
on a
is
passionate rant.
Charlotte, quit.
Yeah, you just Charlotted me. What is this?
I turned down your earphones, not
And
your
I
mic.
did you just like he did her.
What are you doing?
I said, don't pinch me. That is wrong.
Oh, man. Damn, that's life imitating art, isn't it? Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, so.
Sorry. But you know what? It was awesome, and I loved it.
It
And
was.
I loved it.
I did really like that, too. I'm glad you called me back in there to watch that. So, and then you get pissed at me because I put a spoiler alert because somehow I'm watching on the internet 20 seconds before it happens. And I post, sorry, California Chrome
I didn't
win.
even see that, though.
But then you come see it 10 minutes later, you're like, why'd you post that? That's so
Well, I
bad.
just thought about it. Like, you're that guy who posted about Game of Thrones
I didn't
too
do
soon.
that. I didn't do
Yeah,
that.
that's you.
Somebody did post that about, hey, if you hadn't watched this season of Game of Thrones, then you need don't listen. Cut off right now. I'm gonna pause for a second. All right.
Not enough. Pause some more.
I had a guy on my Facebook page post about the first episode. You know what happened in the first episode? What's his name dies, and he's poisoned, blah, blah, blah. I won't say
That wasn't the first episode.
You sure?
Positive. I don't
The
think
first
so.
episode this season? Yeah, it was.
Was that
I think it was,
I think
yeah.
it was the second episode.
But anyway, it
'Cause
might
they
have
don't-
been, it might have been the second
anyhow,
episode.
whatever.
But anyway, so he dies, and somebody on my Facebook page post, I never did like your sorry ass anyway, but I'm glad you did, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, it's a good thing I happened to watch this live because
Exactly.
normally I don't ever watch
And
it
record
live.
it. Yeah.
It's almost always DVR.
Those people who put those are the worst. The TV show series ruiners, those are the worst type of people in the world, besides rapists and people like that. But I'm just talking about as far as spoilers. Not on Facebook. Put it on your personal blog where you can write up there, spoiler alert. Facebook is not a blog for you,
Yes, and news feed.
Susie, who from down the street, who doesn't have no friends. Jeez, don't post spoilers.
Susie, you have no friends. You can be my friend, Susie. Friend me, Susie. All right.
Oh, my goodness. Hold on. I got one more thing to say. Skip Bayless of ESPN said California Chrome owner looks bad blasting winner.
Looks bad? No, hell no.
Hold on, let me finish. Looks bad blasting winner who didn't run Derby Preakness, so didn't run either two. That's why Triple Crown is such a great feat. I don't know. I think he was right on point.
Oh, I think he was too.
I think he was extremely
on
point.
I think
you
he was
don't,
too.
like to me, he just made.
But I was going to tell you a while
racing
ago,
a little bit more interesting for the next 2 to 3 days.
Here's the thing that I was going to tell you.
Had Roddy White.
Shut up a minute.
Roddy White was tweeting about
Here's the
about
thing.
it.
Here's the thing.
There's always the thing with you. I'm talking about Roddy White, who is a football star, tweeting about.
Here's why.
Wow. You want to do that? We can do that all day. I mean, we're on a podcast here. We can do that all day.
Here's
I can
why.
keep interrupting you if you interrupt me.
Here's why. Okay, Roddy White, good for you.
No. Go ahead with your story because it's the most important story in the world, and we know that as listeners of your show.
I'm just saying this is why these guys do this. This is why they sit out the Preakness and the Derby, because they want to win, because the races are different lengths. Their horse has the best chance to win a certain race, and they just go for that race. They don't give a rat's ass about the Triple Crown.
You said that earlier, so you want to repeat yourself?
I want to repeat myself because you didn't quite understand what I was trying to say.
I understand everything you say. It's just not important because it's irrelevant to me. Have things you say are irrelevant.
You don't mean that, do you? You don't really. You don't really mean that, do you?
Anyhow, and you're right. I mean, if I was a horse's owner, I'd probably do the same thing. So the rule has to change.
I don't think so. I don't think they'll change the rule. But anyway, because it's rich guys playing with a lot of more money than you and I have. We already give it too much. If what's his name had not done that,
we wouldn't even be talking about it. It'd be a 2 minute. It'd be a 2 minute. Oh, he lost.
Hey, and Donald Sterling is selling.
I don't care about Donald.
His team.
Jeez,
he's selling his team.
To me, that's yesterday's news. And you want me to tell you why it's yesterday's news? Because ESPN murdered it.
Well, it just happened yesterday. I just saw that yesterday I saw where he's agreed to sell the team.
Well, it happened like 3 days ago or something. But
to the Apple guy.
Yeah, but no, the Microsoft
guy, Ballmer.
and he agreed to do that. In principle, that happened like a week and a half ago. But what I'm saying is ESPN ruined the story. They're going to ruin this story with this guy here. They just ruin stories. That's
I still think that old gal, though, had it set up where she could get a bribe from him, and she just had to drop the atom bomb when he wouldn't pay her. That's just what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah. Well, remember when I sent you that?
I know. I saw that tweet. Yeah.
She's being investigated for extortion, which it makes sense. I would have done the same thing. So, touche to you.
I
Hispanic
believe,
pretty lady.
His pretty lady Hispanic.
I don't know your name, but you're very pretty.
And her 15 minutes of fame didn't lasted about 4 minutes.
I mean, you're not even the fame person. You're just the person that. It's not going to be about you at all. That story was way bigger. That was bigger than anybody who would have dropped the bomb. Just Steve Jobs could have dropped that ball.
All right, so this guy in Miami, I don't know if you read the story that the Tampa, not Miami, but it was Tampa, not Miami. Tampa police. This guy goes to a Juicy J concert.
Who I have no idea is making a comeback, but whatever.
Anyway, I don't even know who Juicy J is.
What,
but anyway,
36 Mafia?
Whatever. He comes back to his truck and it's freaking demolished.
Juicy J's?
No, this guy went to the concert. His truck's been torn apart inside, scratches all over. He thought it was like a burglar. And
thanks for the F Shack, dirty Mike and the boys.
But he finds out it wasn't a burglar. It was the popo because they left him a note.
What in the world?
The police says your car was checked by Tampa Police Department, and the vehicle was searched because for marijuana due to a strong odor coming from the passenger side of the vehicle. If you have any questions, call us.
How is that even right?
I know. I feel sorry for the guy, but like the popo leaves him a note after they trash his vehicle.
So here's the thing.
They say it's legal.
Yeah, so here's the thing. In court, if they'd have found marijuana, how do we know they wouldn't have planted it? This is some stuff, Florida.
I mean, they you can look at it online. They just ripped out the electronics.
They'd be paying me back. Are they going to pay the man back?
Oh, my gosh. His lawyer says, here's the deal. They saw this guy's truck because it's sitting up. It was at this concert. They're like, there's probably a drug in that truck. Let's search it.
That's exactly what they did.
And here's my problem with this. I mean, as you know, I used to be in law enforcement. I mean, we would have never done. I mean, sane law enforcement officers just wouldn't do that shit.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, we wouldn't.
We used to stop blue cars on Saturday to check them for insurance and registration.
All right, see, that's a different thing. That is
different.
It is because
if you stop this blue car here.
No, if you stop all blue cars. Because you got to have, if you're doing a search for something, you either stop every car, you stop every other car, or you stop all blue cars. You have to do one or the other. You can't
Why are you stopping cars checking for friggin' registration?
Because if it's a problem, you have to do it.
That's not a problem.
It is a problem if you get hit by somebody who has no insurance and can't pay for your vehicle.
That's called uninsured losses.
Whatever.
That's called uninsured.
You don't have it. It makes your insurance, makes everybody's insurance go up.
And insurance is going to be high regardless.
Oh, please.
You know that and I know that. Ain't no police force going out there saying, all right, boys, today we're going to stop every car on the road and check them for registration.
Because you can't stop every car.
Well, you know what? I went through a roadblock the other day, or a license check. They were checking for a license, and that's it. I had a loaded gun in my car.
That's not illegal.
And I also didn't have any insurance at the time.
You had insurance when you bought the car.
I didn't have an
you
insurance
didn't have
card.
Well, that's not insurance.
That's illegal.
No, that's a miss. That's
whatever.
That's not
whatever. It's the same thing.
No, it's
and
not.
You know what? You know what? He let me go. He didn't even say a word to me. Saw my license. He let me go.
Okay.
What's the point?
He was checking for illegals. People didn't have a license.
Are we really? People are getting mugged in Statesboro. People getting robbed and raped.
Oh, now, hey.
Here we go. You're checking me for
a
license?
Anyway, it was just funny about
that is
this.
funny.
So don't go to a Juicy J concert with pot in your car. I'm just telling you.
Well, if you do, it better be a Honda Civic gray, and it better not stick out.
Or a Chevrolet Chevrolet Caprice.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What's funny to me about that is I read an article once about a police officer who wrote it. He wrote this book about, or a book, 5-page essay, whatever you want to call it, but about how not to be noticed by the police. He said, as police, yeah, we are going to single certain people out. You riding around in a jacked up Chevrolet truck with loud pipes, we're going to pull you over for drinking.
Remember I used to tell you that about your truck?
You ride around in a gray Honda Accord, windows not tinted, and your seatbelt on, we're less likely to pull you over. It's all about sticking out. And the guy basically said, just don't stick out. If you don't want to be bothered by the police, don't stick out. Don't have a car that is very noticeable. Hey, lesson to all you listeners out there.
Lesson to all you college kids. Don't put fraternity
car.
Stickers on the back of your truck.
Drive a rental car.
Remember how that got you?
No, I didn't have the sticker on there. And nothing got me. Watch your mouth.
Nothing got with them fraternity stickers here in Swainsboro.
Nothing got me when I had those stickers on there.
Okay. I just remember if he didn't know me, he was going to give you a ticket for that loud muffler.
That was when I had my red truck. That was when I had my red Z71 single cab, and he wasn't going to give me a ticket. He can't give me a ticket.
He could give you a ticket.
What's he going to give me a ticket for?
Being stupid.
Exactly. Police and giving tickets.
Hey, here's another good story. This one is a head scratcher. Some mysterious animal ate a 9-foot great white shark and dislodged the tag, and the tag washed up on the shore. But when they found it, they knew that the animal had ate the shark because of the temperature. The body temperature the temperature recorded by that little tag never got to the temperature of the ocean until it was crapped out or whatever happened, however it got out. But it was, they knew it was on a 9-foot great white shark. So, because it had a sudden change in temperature, it went up, and so you're thinking, what the heck can eat a great white shark? And it went way down and it went like a third of a mile down in the ocean after it ate that shark. And orcas don't go that deep, and great whites don't go that deep. So they ain't got a clue what happened. So, there could be some kind of alien or something living off in the ocean that is feeding on the sharks. Just a thought. Just a thought.
What did you say?
All right, what do you have to discuss? Since you seriously don't like what I'm talking about.
I mean, you talked about a shark getting ate by something like an alien.
Just saying.
Hey, that's cool, man.
I'm just saying.
I'm just doing a little LIVIN, man.
Just saying. All right, well, we're going to take a pause right this moment so we can hear a word from one of our sponsors.
GF6.com. We are everything Xbox. Game forums, game reviews, cash prize tournaments, Madden leagues, podcasts, movie reviews, and more. You can buy games in our game market for 80% less than retail. You can sell your games in our market and get fair market value. List all your games for free. Create your own gamer profile. Post your videos. And get your hands on exclusive GF6 gear like the Dirty Hoodie to show off your GF6 pride. Join the GF6 Nation today. Go to www.gfsix.com. GF6. Join the GF6 Nation.
Well, we are back again, and we were talking about what?
Sharks getting eaten
by aliens. Yeah, you didn't seem to think much about this stuff.
Well, I was looking on Facebook for something more interesting than a shark getting ate by something.
Well, how about Miley Cyrus's Maserati got stolen?
By who?
I don't know.
And do you leave the keys in there, Miley? I mean, really? The cops are out there stopping people, checking them for insurance. They ain't. Come on now. They're not just protecting and serving.
Oh, my God.
They're stopping people for checking for insurance and registration. All right? Lock your shit up, Miley.
Yep, stole her car.
I wonder what's in
Maserati.
You know, that's how sex tapes get leaked. You know what I mean? Like, next thing you know...
remember how that got you like that with that sex tape? You remember that? I'm teasing. Okay. Get off it.
I don't remember that.
Of course you don't, because it didn't happen. Has it happened?
No, Dad.
Okay.
No, it has
Right.
not happened.
Okay. Just making sure. So the president gets people get upset at the president because he's chewing gum at the D-Day celebration.
I told you about how a guy got upset with me about making a comment that Obama didn't pay taxes.
I remember that.
I tell you what, people get upset at anything when it involves Barack Obama. Our country is a little too sensitive at the moment, and we talked about that last time. And you know what? What was I going to say about being too sensitive? Oh, Mark Cuban said that. You know, Mark Cuban said it. He said, and people want to give him all kind of crap about it. In the same sentence, he said, if I saw a guy in a hoodie, a black man in a hoodie, I'd probably walk across the street. He said the same thing as if he saw a bald white guy with a bunch of tattoos all over his face. But nobody heard the second part. You know what I mean? Stephen A. Smith had a long rant about how we in this country are just a little too sensitive. We're just a little
Bald
too sensitive.
white guy with tattoos all over his face.
Yeah, he said I'd be a little nervous. I'd walk across the street. He said the same thing as if he saw, a man in a hoodie, a black man, Mexican man, whatever, in a hoodie. He'd walk across the street.
Well, would you be scared if you knew an asteroid was coming named the Beast?
I'm never scared.
June 8th.
I'm
So
never
that's
scared.
tomorrow.
Well,
An asteroid is going to pass close to the Earth. It's only 3.5 times the distance between the Earth and the Moon.
I'm never
So
scared.
that means, and it's 1,100 feet in diameter.
I literally am never scared.
That's pretty big, dude.
And that's what she said.
I'm just serious. I'm just saying.
So
that's
it's
pretty
big.
close.
What am I going to do about it?
I don't
Why
know.
am I going to be scared if it's
What
going
would
to
you
hit
do? Here's what would you do if suddenly we're sitting here and Twitter and Facebook lights up with the news that NASA just comes out and says, you know what, we miscalculated. There's a 1 in 10 chance this thing is going to hit the Earth.
I'm going to sit here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get something to grill from Walmart or Harvey's. We don't have a Publix in this town of ours.
Don't tell people where we live.
And then I'm on. Okay, you want me to finish or you want to keep
I'm
it?
just teasing.
All right. So then I'm going to come back here. I'm going to crack open a Dos Equis. I'm going to grill. I might even go buy me a cigar somewhere, and I'll chill. And if it happens to happen, then it happens. I ain't going to be scared of it. I ain't going to go do some crazy stuff like rob a store. Now, if an EMP bomb hits, I'm robbing Walmart. It's the first thing I'm doing, but it's not a robbery at that point because there's no lights on.
Then it's survival.
Yeah, then you're survival. Zombie apocalypse, I'm surviving. Now, if I know the world as I know it's going to end, like physically everybody in the world is going to die, or literally everybody in the world is going to die, I'm just going to do my everyday routine, you know? I told you, man, I'm just doing a little bit.
Yeah, but this is a Saturday. If it happens on a Tuesday, you leaving work.
Well, if it happens on Tuesday, I guess I'm going to come back here. Hell, I ain't got
Well,
no...
I'm saying there's a 1 in 10 chance now. Are you going to go, it's 10% chance it's going to hit the Earth. Do I leave work today or do I die here at work?
Oh, I die at work.
Okay, die at work. I'm
Hey.
going to leave. I'm going to leave work.
1 in 10, there's a 9% chance. That means
90% chance.
there's a 90% chance that I get fired the next day. So
There's a 100% chance your ass gets fired the next day if it's still here.
You know what
I'm
I mean?
just saying.
Well, no. Well, what I'm saying is
There's a
that if
10% chance you're going to die at work.
exactly, and I'm
But there's a
all-
100% chance you're going to get fired if you leave.
if I leave. But
And
I
it
mean,
don't
if I
happen.
leave, but if I leave and we die, then I did what I needed
But
to
if
do.
you leave,
So-
but if you leave work, then you're hoping it's happening because you don't want to lose your job. Seriously, you leave work. You go.
if I leave work, I'm hoping
You're
that
hoping it's
they-
gonna happen.
I'm
because-
hoping they understand. Like, guys, you understand I left because
No, they
there was a
won't
good
understand.
chance we
They
were all
won't
going to
understand.
die.
They won't understand.
I think they would.
No, they won't.
But I
you know,
probably.
and here's the thing: you're at work. Somebody comes in. They're a demanding customer. They're like, I gotta. You're like, look, dude, don't you know there's a 10% chance you could die tomorrow? What are you here for? Why are you doing this to me? Go home.
No, I don't. That's not. No, I'm all about customer service.
I would.
I'm just looking at them and I'm saying, I get it. I understand, sir, and I got your car
I
on the
know.
way.
I know. You got to be. I know you've got to be in Saskatchewan in 2 days, but Okay.
Steve Chapman. I don't know you, brother, but I booze women often. And when I say booze women, I mean I go to the bar sometimes and they get a little drunk around me, and Next thing you know, they think I'm good looking. I don't know about you. I mean, I can't see your picture. It's of mountains, and it looks like two boobies.
Boozing women.
You know,
Oh, I see that. Thank you, Steve.
Steve, I know you know your rights. At the end of the day, I know you know your rights.
I got my rights.
And your
we
rights-
need to post that. I need to
right.
find that. I need to find
Do you know who Steve is?
Steve on the lawnmower.
Steve has 3 photos. One of a great drawing of someone looking at a sun. I think it's an angel. I'm not sure. No, that's hair. The second picture is of 2 Mack trucks. That's pretty cool. The third picture is of snow.
So Steve Chapman has shouted out to us. So
Appreciate that, Steve. You the man,
Steve.
brother. I wonder if he listens to us on the road. It looks like he's a truck driver. No? Are you a truck driver, Steve? I know you can't hear me, but how far are we into this show?
We are 41 minutes into this show.
Steve once took a nude photo of himself with the lights off, and he says, "You're welcome. Check it out."
Yeah, okay.
Look, take a look.
I'm fixing to type him something.
Turn around and look.
I've seen that before.
I never seen it. Dead air on the radio.
Well, that's your job.
Oh, it is my job. Luckily, I found Steve and started talking about him. If you miss parties at the cabin. You know what? People on Facebook, it amazes me of how dumb some people are on Facebook and how
But not you, Steve.
No, not you, Steve, but just in general.
Guess who I just saw driving up to the studios?
Christopher Jones?
Yeah, the
Too
late guest.
You too late, you redheaded piece of crap. Second off, you know, I got friends here in Swainsboro that literally...
I got friends. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead and continue singing.
I can sing in the background, dude. It's my show.
It's not your show. It's our show.
Okay.
It's mainly my show. Half the people who listen are my friends. I don't even know if you have friends that listen to this show.
You hurt my feelings.
Well, your feelings need to be stomped on a little bit every now and then. I done forgot my train of thought. You just Caroline me again, or whatever her name
Charlotte.
is. Jeez.
Just Charlotte to you again. Stop, Charlotte, stop.
I don't, you know.
Oh, man.
You're the Charlotte of this radio show. I get going on some good stuff, and you Charlotte me. Just.
Oh, man. That was kind of funny.
Horse had a target on his back. Everybody else lays out one. Well, they won't run in the Kentucky Derby or the Preakness. They'll wait till the Belmont.
Charlotte.
You know what? If you've got a horse, run him in all 3. If you've got a horse that can... if you've got a horse...
It is Carolyn. I was right the first time.
Those 20 horses that start in Kentucky are the only 20 eligible to run.
Eligible.
But every time I listen to that, I go, right on, dude. Right on, you know? Hey, here comes a special guest. Mister, I shit myself.
I can't get her on time. Is that a stain? Is that a stain on his drawers?
Oh, now is your mic on?
I don't know if it's on.
Turn on.
You're not gonna be able to hear him in the earphones. I couldn't hear myself earlier, but it is coming through.
It's coming through. So let me tell you the second story I have about Christopher Jones.
We've already told one on you.
Told one. And that's about how the prostate exam went.
What I still don't understand is why you 20-something-year-old guys are eager to have doctors stick fingers up your butt. Would you explain that to me?
Hold on, now I'm trying to talk about a second
I want to hear about
well,
it. You
can
got the second story. You're not going to forget that, do
you? Can ask him that after I tell
I know,
the story.
but it's really interesting. I want to know why he gets his finger.
Did you want a finger stuck up your butt?
I would have done it for free.
Well, I know you'd have done it. But
Do we want the story?
no, you tell why you wanted.
No, we
just
don't. We just want to know why you like it.
Okay. Well,
First off, why are you admitting that you like it?
tell the story.
Oh, okay,
So in turn, y'all will understand.
okay.
why I did not.
But he asked you why.
Why do you like it?
And you went to answer.
And you went
the
straight right
question
up,
of
yeah.
why you like it.
Well, I wanted to go straight into the
story.
Okay, story time. Story time.
Okay, y'all ready for the story?
Ready for the story.
Okay, so this is how it went. Okay, so I go into the general practitioner, and you still haven't answered why you wanted it.
I didn't want it. That's the whole thing. I didn't want it.
I don't know.
Due to the certain circumstance of my situation.
What, the doctor had a good-looking finger?
Well, he had to. He said,
You're how he stumbles. Oh, well.
Okay, so you had to get your this is the part of the story I couldn't remember about why he had to get his prostate.
Oh, the
checked.
doctor just told him he had to. He didn't know he had to.
when I went for my normal physical, they said my prostate appeared to be
Enlarged. That's what it
Whoa,
was.
back up. Whoa, stop right there.
Is that what they
Stop
call
right
it?
there.
Is that what they call a growing problem?
How did they know it was enlarged?
He took an X-ray, obviously.
No, I actually did the man's physical. I did the turn left, turn right, and call. And then, on top of that, they did some blood work and all that good stuff. I don't know how they regulate it or, in terms.
The only way to tell a prostate is enlarged
come on,
is by feeling it.
All right, doctor. Thank you, Dr. Scott.
You want me to look it up?
Thank you, Dr. Scott, the magazine editor.
I can only explain to you how it went.
Here's the thing.
Second
I
off,
think
let
you
me-
got scammed by that doctor. I think you come in there, you kind of
He really did want to give you a cigarette. That's the bad thing. Is afterwards, he really did. He was like, "How you doing, Chris?"
I think you got a doctor who just likes to stick his fingers up people's butt. I think you got a butt doctor.
Well, hey, ass man.
Ass man.
That's the Jerry Seinfeld.
Guys, from the perspective of a 26-year-old that had to get a prostate examination, that's not normal. So
Hey, Carter got one. Jason
Carter actually
got
asked for one
Whoa.
because it was a good looking. He said it was a good looking doctor.
So why you want fingers stuck up your
Thank
butt?
you. Come again. Thank you. Come again.
All right, so let me tell you story number 2 about Christopher. So we're eating Mexican restaurant today. Everybody knows, the Mexican restaurant. It'll do some things to your stomach. It'll get them turning in there. So we go to walk out, and I pay, and Chris pays for his mama's take home, and we go to walk out the store. He lifts his leg up, he hikes it up like he's about to fart. Well, we get in the car, and he says, "I think I might shit myself." And, people say that all the time, and it's just a joke. Like, yeah, that fart there was intense. So I just laugh it off, whatever. Hey, ha, ha, ha. So then we get to my house, or his house, and I go, "You might want to go check yourself, Chris. It's starting to stink in here." So he walks inside. I get about to my house. I drive off, get about up to the house here, and he gives me a call. He says, "Jason." I said, "What's up, dude?" He said, "Man, I really did shit myself." I said, "Damn, Chris."
Oh man.
He said, I'm not talking about like a full shit. I'm talking
Wasn't a
about
turd.
Yeah, it wasn't a full turd. It was. He said it was like liquor. It's like oil coming out my butt. That's the
my
worst.
gosh.
That's the worst shits you can have when you go sit on the pot and nothing but water comes out, liquidy, watery.
You know what the title?
turdy
You know what the
shit.
title for this show is going to be? I just shit myself. That's the title for this show.
Well, the first part
my
of the show is
gosh.
going to be titled "Scott is a Moron." The second title of the story can be "And he
And you're
shit
my
himself."
number one. Right there, you're my number one.
Hey, you take that finger and you stick it up Chris's fucking buttholes because
I saw he kind of he looked at it and went, he wants a date with my finger.
he's like that guy after it happens to him. He starts looking at stuff all of a sudden. Look at that finger
He
there.
starts gauging stuff. Like that time that the thing about the monkey jumps in and they're playing pool. And the monkey grabs a cue ball, eats it, and they go like, "Damn, what the hell happened?" It bust a pool game up. So a couple of weeks later, they're in there and they're sitting around. The monkey comes in and he grabs a peanut off and he sticks it up his ass and he eats it again. And he grabs him in there, he sticks it up his ass and he eats it. And the guy's like, "That's gross as shit, man. Why is he doing that?" He's like, "Well, after that cue ball, he measures everything now before he eats it."
What was that joke I was trying to tell you the other day, but I couldn't get it out because I was laughing? It was at Great. Oh, I remember what it was. Never mind. Sorry, I had to ask you. Remember when I was trying to tell you about the joke about
Oh, that's real good. Yeah, but that joke was so damn. Oh no, never mind. I'll never tell.
No, I mean it's the one about the preacher.
That's good radio.
I probably still can't even tell you because I laugh at it every time. But about the preacher telling his wife to get some damn ham or some ham, and then she comes back with some damn ham. Says, "Oh, you can't talk to me like that. I'm a preacher." She goes, "No, honey, that's the name of the ham. It's damn ham." So they're sitting at the table, and preacher looks at his wife. He says, "Honey, pass me the damn ham." Little boy looks up. He said, "That's what I'm talking about, Daddy, and pass me the fucking mashed potatoes."
You could just see your Uncle Frank doing that, couldn't you? Yeah. You could just see that over there, Uncle Frank doing that. That's what I'm talking about, Daddy.
Attach me the motherfucking potatoes. When I went to tell that joke, boy, I couldn't get it out. I was laughing so hard at it. Damn right, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, usually jokes are funny when you picture somebody else in the spot. And it's always funnier when you picture Chris or Carter or somebody like that in the spot. So.
Measuring balls.
Measuring his balls and shitting his pants. And so.
I got another story about Chris, but I ain't going to tell it.
You know, here's the thing. Here's when you told me Chris was coming, I got to thinking about the first time that Chris ever came over to our house. We lived across on the other side of the country club over here on the golf course on the other side, on the poor side. And Chris was what? Maybe
now, this was at
8 years old.
If the story I'm thinking about, this was at Chris's house.
No, it's our house.
You talking about when we had haircuts?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about he came to our house. First time he'd ever come to our house.
Okay.
And
no, we were living in Midville the first time he ever came to our house, wasn't we?
No,
because he cried and went home.
Yeah, I want to say that it was Midville.
It was
yeah,
Midville.
maybe it was, but I'm just talking about the first time he came to our house in Swainsboro.
Okay.
We had just moved to Swainsboro.
I don't remember this.
Got brand new neighbors. We just moved in.
No, I do remember this story. We got ratted out by Eric. Allen.
Eric and Chris and Eric Allen and you go to my neighbors.
Well, no, hold on now. Let me present the story.
No, that's my story. I'm telling.
All
but
right.
they trashed my neighbors' utility house.
But you make it out to be like we were just these.
You were juvenile delinquents. You were.
That's not how it was. This is what happened. So we used to go exploring. Me and Chris. We would go.
Oh,
through the
now
woods.
it sounds.
We would
kind
go
of educational.
But that's
we
how
were
it was.
exploring.
Was it not, Chris?
You have to look at it from a perspective of a 7, 8.
That's,
Chris, what
that's
were
what
we doing?
hoodlums do.
What were we
explore.
doing? No, what we were doing is what we were exploring, and we were walking off through the woods, and we felt like we'd been walking for miles. Am I lying?
Miles?
So hold
you
on
were
now.
20 or 30 yards from the house.
Daddy, listen to me now. I know how it may seem, but I'm telling you about how it was.
Oh, my
so we come
God.
up on, this is exactly how it was. And this is how it was to me. So we're walking, and we have been walking in these woods behind our house for forever, like playing in water, trying to jump over water, doing all this 8-year-old, fun stuff. And all of a sudden, we come up to this old rickety shed with this 1925 Ford lawnmower. I mean, it's the oldest lawnmower you've seen in your life. It don't look like the John Deere new with the plastic. I mean, it's an old lawnmower.
It looked like it was going to be salvaged.
Yeah. And so we commenced to, having a good time and fucking it up.
Yeah, so that's what.
But we didn't know it was next door. Like, literally, when I got told
literally,
that the tractor was next door.
I could have thrown a rock from my house and hit the damn shed.
You couldn't have. That's a lie.
I know.
Daddy, hold on now. You
gonna
sit
from
here
to that road.
You gonna sit here and say that all the woods in between the house that we ended up trying to clear out that day, that you could have thrown a rock over all those woods?
No, I'm just
Hold
saying
on now.
it was. No.
Hold on now. Oh, yeah.
Perspective of just something else. Okay, just imagine yourself going down the road of which I'm
Damn hoodlums.
We've got a beer bottle in our hands and we're coming up on these signs on the side of the highway. That's damaging government property right there. But I'm sure all three of us.
Daddy lost his damn koozie one night trying to throw a bottle at a sign.
Wait, now we're going to turn this back on
and
me.
you know you did.
Now we're going to turn this back on somehow, make it like it's me.
So we're in Statesboro one night.
Wait,
going
let's
to see a
finish.
movie.
Let's finish my story here about Chris.
And he throws
y'all
a beer
tearing up
bottle.
my neighbor's lawnmower. I mean, that's what not Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones goes out for miles and miles.
And we thought we were.
But when he comes up on some artifacts, he don't go, let's fuck them up. No.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, he does. He destroys the whole part except the one ruin. And we did take something home from that. I think it was a bottle, but I can't remember. We took something home from the excursion.
I mean, we had just moved in. We'd been in there a month, and I got an angry neighbor coming over to my house. The first thing I wanted to do was kick his ass. First thing I'm like, why'd you leave your shit out there to begin with? Then I go, no, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault.
It wasn't even like what you're talking about. The lawnmower. Like, at 8 years old, the lawnmower was way off. It felt like it was just like we came up upon this grassy knoll and in the middle of this African jungle that we were in. And there was just a lawnmower there to be messed up.
To be torn
That's
up. Look,
exactly how it was.
God put this here so we'd have fun today. Come on.
And I ain't going to lie to you. When y'all set us down on their couch and y'all interrogated us about messing that lawnmower up.
Yeah.
I was a no until it
Y'all
was
was a rock.
I was a no
Y'all was
until
a
the
rock.
very end.
Yeah, y'all
and
was
then
a rock
it
till
had to
Eric
come out that
cracked.
then it had to come out that Eric told on us.
Yeah,
like,
but I knew how to crack them. I knew how to get
You
y'all
was sitting there-
separated. I put them interrogation techniques on you.
and then I said no. I said no the whole
Man.
time. We
Yeah,
were
I
firm
could've-
no's.
I didn't want to crack you. I wanted somebody else to be the pussy. and
Nobody
bitch
cracked
out.
me. I was like, no, we didn't do it. I had never seen that lawnmower.
Never said,
before.
don't know what you're talking about.
Was a rat.
No, never been a rat.
See, you're gonna have to take me to
Take me to
Oh,
jail,
my
son.
gosh. Okay, I'm gonna put you. You guys would have been great up in Jersey. What? What you talking about, huh?
You remember the
Sure.
time, we talk about Chris stories. You remember this time when we went to his house and you had just shaved my head? And we went to his house and it was me, you, Miss Wendy, and Chris in the living room or in the kitchen. And
The way you say that, it sounds kind of bad.
it might have been bad for you. It wasn't bad for us. We were 8. I don't know what y'all were doing. But so we're sitting in there. You shaved Chris's head. Well, first off, Chris's mama asked him. Miss Wendy asked him like 9 times. Chris, you sure you want to do this, baby?
Yeah, she didn't want it done.
You sure you want to do
She
this,
did
baby?
not
and Chris,
want it done.
And Chris was like, yeah, mama.
Yeah,
I want this
it
done. So you shaved Chris's head. You pulled a mirror out and said, "Look at it, Chris."
He cried.
Oh,
he
my
ran
God.
Upstairs,
He ran
didn't
got under his
Ran
bed.
upstairs. I remember that.
Got
now.
under his bed. He was so pissed. You remember? You remember that.
Yeah. And the last story I want to tell, because we're just about out of time. The last story.
You remember that.
You remember that, Chris? Don't lie. The last story I wanted. It so traumatized him he forgot. The last story I want to tell is. Chris
he said
and
he
Jason,
fucking hated you. That was the worst
know,
that
yeah.
came out of his mouth that day. He said, "I fucking hate
I
you."
know.
But you know I love you, right?
Yeah. We should shave his head tonight.
Or the time,
Anyway.
we were riding the 4-wheeler and we flipped it, and Chris ran out in front of his mama's house and Mama and Mr. Eddie's house, and he said, "What the are y'all doing? We just flipped the god 4-wheeler. Y'all sit up here talking, you stupid." I'm talking about. You remember that? He went
off on it. I remember that. Yeah. Oh, listen, but the best story about Chris is when y'all went to Y Camp.
Oh, I tell this story.
That is the best story
I love
of
this
any story, any Chris story that anybody will ever have, unless he robs a bank. So let me say, the Y Camp is up in North Georgia.
It's an all-boy camp.
It's an all-boy camp. It's in the middle of nowhere. And my thing was, I went to camp every year as a kid, so I wanted my son to go to camp. So I sent him off to this Y Camp. And I sent his older brother with him and his older cousin. And Chris wants to go, too, because he found out about it, so he wants to go. Now, I didn't get to see this,
It wasn't
but
always
I'm
miserable,
going to
Chris.
let Jason tell this part of the story.
It wasn't always miserable, though, was it? I mean, we had some good times at Y Camp. Yeah, we had some good times, but it was terrible. I mean, I cried about every 2 nights. So
I got the letter you sent me, Jason.
I cried about every 2 nights.
Miss you, man.
Yeah, it was bad. But anyhow, so
It was only a week, too.
I know, but it felt like a month. But so what'd you say?
I said I was such a little boy.
So we were about 10 or 11 at this point. We're about 10 or 11 at this point, and
I think he'd never been away from home.
no, I don't think so. Because you remember the first time he came to the house in Midville, Miss Wendy had to come pick him up.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. I used to, people get homesick. But anyhow, sometimes people get real homesick, and you're okay. But
He's 15 miles away.
Yeah, so the last day we're in there eating breakfast, and that's the day the parents can come, and I'm ready for my mom and dad to get there. I'm not going front.
And I think you earliest you can get there is 8.
The earliest you could get there is
or 9.
Yeah, it was. I think you could get there after lunch, right after breakfast.
It's like 9 to 12.
Right.
You can get there.
So and y'all got there at 12.
Well, your mom was wanting to get there at 9. I'm like, shit.
So anyhow, we're sitting in there eating breakfast, and they come over to Loudcom or whatever, and they say, "Chris Jones, your mom's here." And when I tell you, I don't even think he put his plate up. He jumped up and ran.
It looked like you told me.
there.
Didn't you tell me it looked like a scene from a
It looked
movie?
like a scene from a movie.
Where two lovers that hadn't seen each other it is separated by war. You know.
I mean, and what was
And it's
so
slow
funny?
motion.
What was so funny? I see it in slow motion. Yeah, I see it in slow motion. But what happened is Chris goes to running, and I get up and kind of run out after him. I'm like, "Where the hell? I want to see Miss Wendy too. Hey, what's up? Have you seen my mom and dad?"
You talked to my mom.
But so Chris is running, and he's just he's going as hard as he can, and he goes, "Mama!" And Miss Wendy gets down on one knee and puts her arms out like, "I'm here,
I'm here, baby. I'm here for you."
It
was touching, wasn't it?
I will never.
It was touching.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
It was
I
so
was kind of jealous. Like, why Miss Wendy's here early? I think.
Why ain't y'all here?
I think when y'all got there, I was
Yeah.
like,
"Whoa, what took you so long?"
Miss Wendy picked Chris up 2 hours ago.
Yeah, I know it was like 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock before I got. Because you know
I had
what?
to go. I had to go to the assembly hall and sing Father Abraham about 7 more times. I had to go to the assembly line, and the worst part about that is, you remember, Chris? You remember we had the dude, the camp counselor. I think he might have grew up to be a molester or something later because
Whoa.
he told all us he was Batman. He was like, "No, I'm Batman." Motherfucker, you ain't Batman. Pretty sure we all looked at him and said, "That's weird, dude. You're not Batman."
Oh my gosh.
Mama sent me up there with a friggin' treasure chest as a backpack. That was what my luggage was, a treasure chest. I had everything in the world packed in that thing, and I still hated it.
Are you talking about a treasure chest like they had when people were on the Titanic? That kind
Very similar. You remember the Blob? I won't never forget the Blob.
I love the Blob.
Man, I got thrown up. So 2 people jumped off that thing on, and I got thrown up so goddamn high.
I think I had 2 Chris Holtz launch me. So.
Woo! You know, for the most part, it wasn't bad. It was just bad when it was like a concentration camp in the sense where they forced you to go do stuff. Like, I want to go out and play football today. This is camp. Why y'all making me go in here and sing Father Abraham? And you remember that? Lean on me. You remember all that crap? That wasn't fun. I wanted to go play football and bad. There was no downtime to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, the things you guys want to do wound up you getting 20 feet away from camp and finding an old shack with a lawnmower in it, tearing it up.
And that would have been
That's
fun.
what you wanted to do.
And that would have been fun. Would it not have been fun?
I would have had a great time.
Right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They was like, "Oh, you bring your fishing pole. You can go fishing." I went out there trying to go fishing, didn't catch a damn fish because there were no fish in that pond because that place was tainted. It was awful.
If I had to go back and do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing.
No, well, maybe a couple things, like not crying every night.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to
Crying
sleep, Chris. I
yourself
ain't
to
gonna lie
sleep.
to you. No, I was up. I was up there. I was up there on the top bunk crying a little bit too. Anyway.
1 minute to post time, approaching the gate.
Well, since we've wasted a perfectly good hour,
And we should
62 minutes.
probably listen to this show again because I think there's probably is there a way we can edit certain things out? Because I know we started the show that we don't edit things out, but there's about a good 5 minutes that I want to get edited out of this show.
Sure,
Okay,
we'll do that. Yeah.
okay, you'll do that. I'm gonna go drink, but
We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back again soon since McNasty is working closer to home. But as we like
Bye.
to say when the show's over,
school is out. Hey, bottle.
say what?
Said I need some gas.
Little did you know I didn't care. Tired of her tragedies and her lies. I can go through hell all by myself. All wrapped up in broken dreams. I've been down and in between. Seen hell more than twice. Been through the tunnel, never saw the light. Danced with the devil to the morning sun. Learned to never
Are we done? Because I got to use the bathroom.